Hey guys, this is Laurel with the Dabbling Hook. How are you guys doing? Hope everyone's doing well. Today is, what's the date? 19th, the 19th, Tuesday. It's a couple of days after my first craft fair, and I figured that I would, oh, I saw something float, whoops. Probably all the fluff from the yarn. I would record post craft fair stuff because I know I'm gonna forget if I leave it all till my first 3 craft fairs are done. So I'm just gonna go through real quick all the things that all or most of the things that sold. It was a really good show. Again, a lot of arms, but I was worried about rain and wind and effects of Hurricane Lee. So you'll hear me talk about that when you see my Yarny Hop video, because I recorded that video, when did I record it? The day before the craft fair. And I was looking out the window and it was quite breezy, and it wasn't raining or anything, but the rain held off, which was so great. It was the weirdest thing. We've been having a lot of rain. The day before we had a little bit of wind, but not rain. Sunday was wonderful. There was a little bit of wind, a couple of times, a couple of small things fell off my table, but other than that, it was warm. It was so warm. I had to keep moving out of the sun where I was standing in my under my tent because it was so hot. My back was like on fire. It was a wonderful day. I couldn't have asked for more, especially given the hurricane weather we're experiencing or the effects of it over here. Thankfully the hurricane kind of passed us by, so we got rain yesterday, actually Monday, a lot. It rained all day, but thankfully we didn't get any on Sunday. It was couldn't have asked for anything better, let me tell you. It was a great day. People were out, people were just friendly and kind. The volunteers there, this is the third year I'm doing this fair. It's outside, and the volunteers were, I think, the best I've ever seen in the 3 years I've done it. So it was a good day, weather-wise, people-wise, fair results-wise. It was great. So I have another one coming up this coming Saturday, and I am really more hesitant about that because and the light's gonna go in and out. It's almost the end of the day. I didn't take a lunch today, so I figured I could use the last like hour, half hour or so just to record this so I can get it over with. What was I saying? Oh, we are, it said there's a 60% chance of scattered showers. Last year, it did drizzle a couple of times, and I did bring my tent sides, and people still came out, and it turned out great. But I don't know, with the type of hurricane weather we've had and the rain, the amount of rain we've had, I don't know how this one's going to turn out. The first year I did this fair that's coming up on Saturday, it rained so bad. It was just, not downpour, but it was just so constant that it soaked, my tent ended up like soaking through. It just wouldn't let up. I had to like push things up to like get the water to come off. It was just a mess. So I'm hoping it's not the case, but it's going to be good all day, all week. And I'm like 5 minutes in almost, and I haven't really gotten to this, but it's going to be lovely weather according to the forecast all week. And then on starting Saturday, of course, with the craft fair, it's gonna rain, 60% chance. So I really hope it doesn't rain, or if it does, it's just, you know, really scattered and just drizzly. That I can deal with, but yeah, because I don't want to have to put up the tent sides and all that, because with wind it just gets messy. But anyway, the fair. Oh, did I say welcome to all new subscribers, and to you guys who've been hanging in there, thanks for coming back. Okay, the fair. No particular order, but the first thing, you know, I've been doing shawls for Setta's Calendar Cal, and I've just been in a shawl mode. So I finished at the end of craft fair last season. I finished a few shawls that had been lingering, and then that just kind of spurred me on. And I was just in a shawl mode, and I've been making shawls every month for Setta's Calendar Cal. So I put up, I think, 10 or 12 shawls in my you know, in my on my tent, hanging from the tent, and I ended up selling 5 shawls, which, you know, there were years where I was happy to sell 1 shawl, and last year was a really good shawl year, and this time, first fair of the season, and I sold 5 already, so I am beyond pleased with that alone. So, what sold? The half circle eyelet shawl. That's the tutorial by Carrie Penny. I did mine for, again, Setter's Calendar Cal for one Lisa of Happy to Hook. Hi, Lisa. When she was the photo of the month, it was a Star Trek theme, and that sold. Now, the guy who bought that, he came into the cube. He came into my my tent. He looked around, just like moseying, asked if he needed any help. He's like, no, he's just looking. I'm like, okay, let me know if you have any questions. He looked, and then he left. I didn't even notice when he left. And then maybe like an hour later, I'm like, oh, you're back. He showed back up, and that's the one he bought. And he bought it, he said, for his, I think he said for his daughter-in-law. So, and it's a nice size. It's a huge shawl, so kudos for that. That's gone. The Count My Blessing shawl, I forget by who. She's a YouTuber. But hopefully I'll put links below. That I did in, what did I do that in? Shawl and a Ball. And that sold. There were 2 ladies or friends who came in. I think they came in twice. Again, I think I had a few repeat people who, you know, came in and came back around. Usually when people coming in, they come in and they say that they'll come back. They usually don't come back, but that's been happening a lot lately, that they do come back. But they came in, and the first time they came in, one of the ladies has a wool allergy, so she liked one of the shawls, and when I told her what was in it, you know, she's like, they'll come back. Ooh, I got a delivery. Oh, I think it's, I bought a mannequin, because I have 2 mannequins I take to a craft fair, and one of them, the base, like, broke. So I tried to fix it, and I've been gone to the hardware store. Yep, definitely my mannequin. I've got, it's a little, oh man. It was cheaper than what I bought before, and I guess I could see why just looking at the, looking at the box that just came. Ooh. Anyway, so the 2 ladies, they came back, and one of them bought the, like I said, the Count My Blessing shawl, because she loved the color and the shape and everything. And then the other one, who had the wool allergy, she ended up buying my Just Feel Better shawl that I did in Malabrigo, even though she has the wool allergy. And I told her that it's not like what most people think of the wool, which is that itchy, scratchy, rougher wool. So she bought it, and she said if it turns out that she has an allergy to it, she's either gonna regift it or give it to her daughter or something. So score. So that was shawl number 3. Eyelet, the half circle eyelet, the Count My Blessings, and the Just Feel Better. And then the Teal Tenacity, which is by Expression Fiber Arts, or it's from her, but I think somebody else designed it. Like every Friday she has free patterns that mostly it's other people who designed it that she offers with her yarn. That one I did, that was my first one I did this year for a Setter's Calendar Cal, and I actually did it for her Setter's picture. And the lady who came in with her husband, it's like everything has a story behind it. She came in with her husband, and she was looking at it. I'm like, do you need me to take it down? You know, you can try it on. And tip that seems to help sell the shawls. Most people think of a shawl, granny shawl on the shoulder, and I let them try it on, but I always go up to them and I'll tell them, you know, it's also worn by the cool kids, is what I tell them. Or how the cool kids wear it today. And I show them how to wear it bandana or scarf like, and that always seems to like open their eyes, like they've never thought of a shawl other than over the shoulder. And I styled her in a few other ways, and she really liked it, and you could tell her husband was like, you know, saying, oh, she looks good and all that, but I'm like, you know, that would look great on a plain little black dress, or any plain dress. And she was just, and then when I style it in different ways, her eyes just lit up. And then when she finally got it, he's like, okay, you can get it. And she got it, and then I'm like, now that means like your husband with the little black dress, your husband's gonna take you out. And she goes, So it was a cool interaction. This was a really, really good fair. So that was number 4. And then number 5, now my Hotel of Bees, the second one that I did it in some Cloudborne Fibers stash in Sport Weight that I've had. I bought it when Craftsy was going out of business, and it's just been sitting there because, you know, me, and I'm worsted and above, and I'm getting used to like the DKs and the smaller. Somebody's phone is ringing. Anyway, so I used it for the the Hotel of Bees, and I did it in my colors because if I was going to do it, because the Hotel of Bees takes a bit of concentration, but the good thing about it is you start wide and then you decrease. So, you know, the further along you get, the better it is because it's getting smaller. But my neighbor vendor, she was selling earrings and metalwork and stuff like that, and rings and earrings and such, and she came by and she was just enamored, taken aback, like just with the colors. The colors were my colors, like the gold, and it had, I believe, remember I showed this in my hot video, but this is Cloudborne fibers, and this looks kind of bad lighting, but burgundy-ish, but it's really like a purpley, it's called magenta, so it's like a purpley red color. But I had a plum color in that, a gold color, which is maize, and I think the fourth color was like a heathery brown color. And she was just in love with it. And I'm like, you do understand it's wool, because I like to make sure people know that in case they have an allergy or just whatever. And she was just floored. She loved the design. I'm like, yeah, it's not my design, but I wish it was. But she loved the color. She just loved everything about it, and it just made my heart sing. It was just awesome. Like when somebody really appreciates, you know, you make something, you love it, and you hope somebody else does, and she was just really into it. She loved it. Like, I think she was probably like one of the highlights of the day. She loved it so much. So yeah, and she bought it, no questions. So those were my 5 shawls: the Eyelet, the Count My Blessings, Teal Tenacity, Hotel of Bees, and Just Feel Better shawl. That, like, I think those were some of my first sales. Speaking of my first sale was my 2-button cowl was on the mannequin, and this kid walked by and he stopped and he was just looking in my booth, and I said to him, you can come in and take a look, and like the toys are over there, but he had no interest in that. He kept looking at my wearables, and he left. And then I saw him back again maybe like 15 minutes, 20 minutes later, and then he asked me how much it was, and I told him, and I see him starts digging through for his money. I'm like, oh, do you need a bag? He goes, no. I'm like, well, who are you buying it for? You're gonna need a bag too. He goes, no, I'm just gonna wear it, and he puts it on, and I'm like, okay. Yeah, just absolutely made my day. It was 2 hours before we even started, because I got there early to make sure I set up and everything, and the fair was from 11 to 6, and my setup time was from like between 7:30 and 8, so I chose an earlier time so that I can have as much time to set and rearrange and do everything. So it was awesome. It was awesome. So speaking of my 2-button cowls, I sold 7 of those, which was awesome. And that was one that damn camera. Whoops. That was when I had all the yarn that, and for previous years, I always like rushed to make the 2-button cowls as I went. This time I decided to just make them all, use up the yarn before the craft fair. So I had 30 2-button cowls in that yarn, the hometown yarn, and then I had a couple more in worsted that I doubled up or tripled up with other yarns like latte and whatever. So I should be all set for at least my next 2 craft fairs if they happen to sell well, but 7 of them right off the bat, I'm not complaining. The ruffle hats that I could have leave it or take it. It wasn't really my thing, but you were seeing it everywhere, and I decided to make it because Lisa of Happy to Hook was showing a divine hat when she was explaining her process of doing her ruffles. So I'm like, oh, I can do a divine hat in that and use up some yarn. And they were there. A few people looked at them, and then these 2 girls, they looked like they were just friends, came in. One had long braids, like down to like way down, you know, to her belly, and then the other one had straight hair. And they were looking around, and then they zeroed in on that, and it's like, oh, that's so cute. And they tried it on, and one of them had it was very ruffly, and the girl with the braids tried it on. I liked that one on her, and then her friend with the straight hair tried on one that I made with smaller ruffles, not as big, and it looked, I wish I had asked for a picture of them, but they look so great and they bought it and they were just so happy. That was like the theme, like the people who bought stuff this time were just so happy. It's just, and I was just so happy. There are 2 pickles. Pickles are still a thing. I will say that other than my 2-button cows and the shawls, the hats and the other wearables weren't, like the cowls and hats and stuff, they weren't big. And again, it was really hot, surprisingly. Sometimes that deters people, sometimes it doesn't, you never know. But those weren't a big thing. They didn't really sell. But I did sell 2 knit hats to this guy. He was looking around. Everyone kept asking, did I make everything? Like, people are so shocked, again, by handmade. I don't know. But I sold him 2 knit hats. Actually, one was a machine, the circular knit, the Centro knit hats, which I haven't. I think I have like 3 left. I haven't made any this season yet. Or headbands. I haven't made. I don't know why. I'm looking at the machines, both my 48 and my what is it, the 46? No, what is it? 40 and 48 sitting there, and I haven't used them yet for this season. But anyway, 1 hand knit hat and 1 machine knit hat I sold him. What else? I sold 1 Victrina beanie with a pom-pom. That's usually one of my best sellers, and wasn't, I guess it's not time yet. We'll see. Hopefully this coming weekend if we don't get rain. Turtles. I think all my turtles sold. 5. Yeah, I made 3. I had 2 from before. Or did I have 3 and I made 3? So either all, I can't remember. But I sold 5 turtles. And if I had 6, I still have 1, obviously. But if not, then I need to try to make at least 1 more, just to have on display, because either I'm all out or I have 1 left. I think I'm all out. I think somebody bought the last one, so it's 5 of them that I sold. I had this big octo that I made in orange, and I put a brown witch's hat on, and I think I've had it for 2 years, and somebody finally bought it, so that was awesome. Now, gummy bears. Those were so popular, and I'm so glad I made the smaller ones that I said were going to be my small item. I think I sold them for what, $5 for the smaller ones. They were just so popular. I had bigger ones that were $10 and $15. Those didn't go so well, but I had I think 9 smaller ones, and 7 of those sold. But so many people were interested in it. I've already got, I think, 4 or 5 that I've made, because I'm almost all out of the mini ones, and that brings people in because that's my lowest point, I think, price item. But I sold 1 for $10, 1 for $15, and then 7 minis for $5. For the Make 9 that I'm doing with Kim, which I still have 2 to go, hopefully to get done either next month or by November. But anyway, for my Make 9, I sold 4 of the items I've made for my Make 9. I made the apple with the worm in it, the pink bear, which is Theodora the bear. I call it Theodora because I made it girly. Little Quack the duck, that also sold. This lady goes, it was the hat for me because it has this little hat on its head. And then Bob the bear, but I also made it girly, so I call it Babs the bear. That sold. So 4 of my Make 9s, Kim. Those are gone. Those are awesome. Babs the bear, it's like the little bear that has, it's like a chunk, and then it has the 2 legs that are out there like that. This girl had it and she just refused to let it go, and her father ended up just having to buy it for her because she wouldn't let it go. What else? What else? Mushrooms. The what is it? Sammy Spore with the pop-up one. That was very popular. I ended up selling 6. I think all the ones that I had, 6 of them. I had 4. No, I had 5 of those. I had 1 other mushroom from the year before, or from the spring, and then I sold 2 mushroom keychains as well. So between the keychains and the mushrooms, I sold 8. My Amineko cats, I had 4. 3 of them about average size, and then I made a big one out of the what did I make it out of? I think it was either the Dollar Tree yarn or the chenille home, but it's a pretty good size one. That's still there, but I sold 3 others, which was, yeah, lovely. Okay, what else? Octos, just other than that pumpkin octo or the witchy octo, I sold seven octos and 4 octo keychains as well. Not bad. Leggy froggies, I sold 8 leggy froggies. I think a couple of those were keychains as well, but yep. I think people liked the keychains because I had them clipped with the lobster clips on my shelves. So they were just hanging there blowing in the wind, so that brought them in. I sold one of the pumpkins that I made. And I had this jumbo pumpkin that has to be at least 5 years old that I've been carrying around. And this year I almost reduced the price, but I actually just forgot. I never changed the price tag on it. And somebody came and it was for them. So I keep saying it, but then every once in a while I'm like, oh, I really should get that out of inventory to like mark it down. But then I forget, but you never know. It'll be there for somebody, and this time somebody actually bought it and she was just so happy with it. So I guess that should be the theme of it, huh? They were all happy. All right, what else? I had one plush cow, which is a pattern I think by Rose and Lily, I'm pretty sure. That sold. That I did for the spring, and that didn't sell then, but it sold. I had 2 whales. I had 3 whales. Those mini whales, and a bigger one that was like I was just using scraps from the Dollar Tree chenille yarn. I think that sold too. No, it didn't. I sold 1 whale. So I still have a keychain, small keychain whale, and then the scrappy whale. I sold 2 T-Rex, the small mini one by Mary Makes, and then there was another one, I forget who the pattern was from. I want to say it was from her too. It was a different type. But anyway, I sold 2 dinos. The Mabel Chicken, I sold 5. Everyone was drawn to it. They were very like, oh my god, chickens. There's some people who like, oh, we have chickens. So yep, I sold 5 of those. This one seal that was just a one-off recommended video on YouTube one day, and I just made it just because. Alyssa, your Catrine, the one I tested for you, that sold. This lady who loved cats, and when she was buying it, I made sure to ask her if it was for a kid, because the eyes I used before I realized that they had come with flat backs. They were the cupcake eyes, the sunken eyes, but it had the wrong backs. So I ended up, when I put it on, the eyes were still poking out. So I glued everything in with the safety back, and then I put chenille yarn. I glued chenille yarn around it so that the poking out part has a little bit of softness around it. But she loved it. She loved the whole eye thing. It looks like it had goth mascara on or something. So I had 4 axolotls, 1 from the spring, and I made 3, and those all sold. I sold 1 speckled, the little heart speckled knitted hats. 1 of those sold. The plush kitty that I made, it was inspired by, I think, Southern Gals Crochet. I saw hers, and then I didn't get the pattern, even though her pattern's free, but I just winged it, and that sold. Which is funny, because there were a few people who looked at it, left, and came back, and one particular girl came back with her mom, and her mom's like, there was a cat there, do you still have? I'm like, no, it sold. Oops. Yeah, she was so disappointed, but oh well. Let's see. What did I say with the octos? Yeah, 4 keychains. 4 octo keychains. My lazy bullfrogs, which I made a bunch of them. I think about 10 of them for the spring, and I think maybe 1 sold in the spring. This time, 8 of them sold. So I need to, that's another thing I need to make a few of as well. I don't know if I'm gonna have time. Oh my god. I'm hoping on Friday I have to take off to help a friend out. So, you know, while I do that, I'm hoping that I'll be able to use that time to make a few of the smaller items. The ghosts I made, those were Rose and Lily patterns. I think all 3 of my ghosts sold. No, 2 out of the 3 ghosts that I had sold. I sold 2 of the scrunchies that I just made just because I had some leftover chenille yarn, and I had the scrunchy elastics, and I sold 2 of those, so we'll see. I sold 3 bees, and I'm contemplating making just a couple of smaller, I have some black and yellow yarn I got from the Dollar Tree finally, so who knows. And then 1 duck. The duck were also from, I keep saying Mary Makes, but it's another YouTuber. I think it might be her too. But I made a bunch of those for the spring, and all but 1 of them had sold, and that one was gone. So it was an awesome, it was definitely a toy heavy, a stuffy heavy craft fair. Other than the shawls and the 2-button cowls, there wasn't much hats that, or cowls or anything that went, but not complaining at all. It was absolutely awesome. People were absolutely awesome. The weather was just a godsend. So all right, that is a huge clip. I just didn't want to forget anything once I'm done with the 3. There's no way I'd remember it all. So this will get added on to the clip for after Saturdays, hopefully. If Saturdays gets canceled, I will upload this by itself. If not, then it'll be probably at the end of the month when I do all 3 together. But who knows? Maybe I'll split it up. I don't know. Anyway, I will talk to you guys later. I will... What am I going to do? I don't know. I'll talk to you guys later. I gotta finish the day's work and then try to make a few more. I have, like I said, 4 gummy bears done, and I need to make... Ooh, I made... Oh, I don't have it near me, but I made the usual size, and then if you use 1 strand of the Dollar Tree yarn, and I use a the Dollar Tree chenille yarn, and I use a 3.25 hook, it comes out so small that you can make it into a keychain, which will be awesome. So I have 2 of those made, but we'll see. I have other things I need to make. All right, fingers crossed that Saturday doesn't rain too badly, and I will talk to you guys in the next clip. All right, bye. Hey guys, this is Laurel with the Dabbling Hook. How are you guys doing? Today is Tuesday. Is it Tuesday? It's Tuesday. Yeah, the 26th. Somewhere around there. It's Monday or Tuesday. I think it's Tuesday. Wow. Anyway, this is recap number 2 from fair number 2. The last video, or the last clip, you would have seen that I was talking about how it was, rain was forecasted, and I was not sure if we were going to have the craft fair or not, or if I was going to go even. So I ended up going, and I'm so glad I did. It was really touch and go whether or not I was going to make it, and yeah, the rain situation was just very up in the air. But I decided to go anyway and prayed that it wouldn't, you know, downpour or anything. So far, I've been, knock on wood, very lucky that when it has rained, other than the very first time I did a fair a couple of towns away, it's like years ago, pre-COVID, when it didn't downpour, but it was like a steady drizzle that, you know, ended up soaking through my tent and all that. But other than that, I've been pretty lucky. It's been passing little drizzly showers, and that's pretty much what happened this time, thank God. It did ended up pouring by the end of the night, but it held off. It was cold though. Yes, we went from the previous craft fair turned out to be like, you know, in the 70s, and this one, it was cold. Yeah, I kept crocheting and moving around, so much so that I ended up with like, by the end of the day, I had over 16,000 steps because you had to keep moving to stay warm. It was pretty chilled. So that was Saturday. Sunday and Monday is very cloudy, overcast, and today the sun's been out. It's still pretty cool. We definitely just flipped temperature wise, you know, from summer weather and to just cold. Alley of Little Drops, wonderful fall type weather, but God no. Thankfully, you know, funny enough, all the leaves haven't changed as quickly as they normally do. So yeah, anyway, enough of that. Craft fair recap. How did it go? It went well. The first craft fair went excellent, like I said. This one went very well, especially given the fact that I think they had like maybe about a little over half the vendors that they normally did, because a lot of them didn't want a chance to rain. And I think for the first hour or so, it was very slow, because usually when the craft fair starts, people just come, and it was very slow, because this is a MSPCA sponsored craft fair, so you got a lot of dog lovers and animal lovers who come through. But this one, because of the weather, a lot of people stayed away at first, but people did end up coming out, thank God. So it turned out way better than I expected. So just quickly, oh, by the way, hi, welcome to any new subscribers who came back, and thank you for anybody else who's sticking around and checking out my craft fair season. So let's see what sold. So my big seller was, again, my 2-button cowl. I think I think in the last clip I sold 7, I said, or 8. This time 12. So right now I'm actually in the process of restocking. I did this last night, and I did this over lunchtime today. And so sorry about the lighting too. It's the end of the day. I just finished work, and it's just overcast, and I didn't want to put on the ring light or anything, so you're gonna get shadows and whatnot. But yeah, I sold 12 2-button cowls. I think that is my biggest to date, my biggest one fair sale of those to date. I think I may have come close maybe sometime last year or the year before that, but anyway, I had to go buy more yarn because I had I still have about I think 9 or 10, but all the popular colors, like the ones I just showed you, those are sold. The gold, the mustard color, the brighter colors, those sold. So I had to go buy some more yarn on the way back from the craft fair. I stopped at no, I came home and then I went to Michael's and then Joann's and Walmart to get I didn't get it at Michael's, but I went to Joann's, and did I get it at Joann's? Yeah, I bought a few at Joann's and a few at Walmart. But anyway, so I need to get those done. So 12 2-button cowls. Love it. My fringed triangle cowls, I think I sold 1 at the first fair, and this time I sold 4 of them. And that means I only have 2 left. So I need to get at least 1, maybe 2 more done before Saturday. Fingers crossed. Let's see. Gummy bears, I sold 3 this time. The first fair was heavy on the toys. This one more on I think the wearables. My Vitrina beanie, I sold 3 of those. My bricks and hearts, I sold 1. 1 hat. And the nested baskets that I had made last year, the year before at the craft fairs, the baskets that, you never know if they just happen to sell. I carried them with a few fairs, and this time at actually the fair that I'm doing this coming Saturday, at that one I sold a lot. So hopefully those will go. But I sold one of the bigger of the nested baskets. I had 3 of them. The bigger one sold. And it was funny, the lady who bought it was there with her friend, and they ended up buying, like, I think they each bought shawls, and then they were just, ribbing on each other. And one of them, the one who bought the basket, said she's attempting to organize again. So it was, they were hilarious. What else? The big button cowl, I sold 2 of those. I had 3, so I need to make at least 1 more. I hope I have time to make all those. Let's see. Shawls. I sold 5 shawls. I'm tickled with the shawls. And definitely having them, I have a tabletop mannequin that I wrap them on bandana style, and that seems to really pull them in. So I put them on twice. When I had them on, somebody came, they bought it. I put another one on, somebody bought it, and so on. So the ones that sold, the Pursuing Peace shawl, that is by Crochet ADHD. That's her pattern, and I did it for her crochet along that she had I think earlier this year. That one sold. My Puppy Love shawl that I don't remember. If I remember, I'll put on the screen if I have time. How long ago I did that, but that was Kalisha of Quirky Monday Craft Cast. That was her pattern that I had tested for her, and I've had it ever since. And so many people have looked at it, tried it on, but never bought it. And this time, this woman came in and it was on the mannequin, bandana style, and she said, I want that one. I'm like, so I took it off, and I'm like, you know, I showed her to put it on the traditional way, and just to see it, she's like, nope, I want that. So that's how it goes. My Fronds Shawl, that's a pattern I bought a few years ago, at least 3 years ago. And I never did anything with it. I bought the pattern specifically because the yarn, the way the picture in the pattern is what drew me for some reason, and I didn't end up using it. Looked like a Malabrigo, or definitely a hand-dyed yarn, in probably from the picture it looked like it was maybe DK or something, and I wanted to do it in something similar, but again, stash. I had I think it was Craftsy yarn, and it was a llama and nylon yarn that I had. I still have, I think, maybe 3 balls left in red. The one I did was in what did I do it in? I did it in a gold color. Ooh, do I still have one left? I may actually have a gold one left, but I have 3 sparkly red ones left, and I'm thinking of doing another Fronds shawl. But I love the feel of the llama yarn. And then the person who bought it was a volunteer at the craft fair, and she was cold, and so she came and bought it, and she wanted something to keep her warm, and I kept seeing her walking around with it on. Just absolutely made my day. And let's see, my Just Feel Better shawl that I did in Mandala Sparkle. I think I did that for the calendar cal for December last year. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did that then, but that sold. And the virus shawl that I did, that was the latte and the alpaca blend. That I actually love that one, the way that turned out, and that was for my photo and set as calendar cal for August, I think it was. That sold. So 5 shawls, absolutely awesome. I sold 1 T-Rex. The swan that I did for the Make 9 that I'm doing with Kim, which I still need to do my last 2, the bigger one, I did 2. I did a big one in the chenille home in gray. I'll hopefully put up a picture. I think that was like my last sale or my one before last sale. She came while I was breaking down, which typically happens with the craft fair. When I'm breaking down, somebody always comes, and typically they buy like a toy or something, and she bought that and the big Amineko Cat that I had. I had made a big one of chenille home and the just chenille yarn. She bought those 2, so that was awesome to end the day. 1 Leggy Froggy this time. I sold 1 knit hat, a hand knit hat. My the Nunu beanie from Angie of Love and Every Stitch. This woman bought it. She tried it on a couple of times, wasn't sure, tried something else on, and then ended up buying the Nunu hat. I had 1 turtle left. Ooh, my battery's flashing. I'm gonna have to change. But I had 1 turtle left, and that sold. This cutest little girl. Oh, I love those. She grabbed it. She didn't want a bag, and she was walking around. It's awesome. So let me change my battery, and I'll be right back. Where was I? I think the last thing I said was my last turtle that I had. That sold. So as a result, I have no more turtles, so I whipped these 2 up, one yesterday and one the night before, so Sunday night and then Monday after work. This is a pattern by the Friendly Red Fox. I have her ebook. I have quite a few of her patterns as well, but she came out with a 1-hour no-sew pattern, and you know, it's pretty much like a lot of the other patterns, except the way she attaches the head. But what I find is that, and I need to pay attention, I guess, more next time I do it, because I need to hopefully do another couple, not necessarily for the next fair, because I'm just not going to have time. But I keep getting the head on. They don't come on crooked. You could see how, okay, they're like straight. The body's straight. Oop, Amazon delivered. No, not me. Mine is until tomorrow. I'm gonna stop. Nope, not me. So, can you see the head? It's like, it's crooked. It's off to the side. And when I look at hers, it's like almost dead on straight. So I need to pay a little more attention when I'm attaching the head, and maybe, you know, even though she says go in a certain stitch, maybe I need to adjust mine. Not maybe. See? I definitely need to adjust mine. But it also gives a character because her head's like off to the side. But this is the pattern, and Kim, Crafty Nomad, she, this is about stuffing, the polyfill. She mentioned that Walmart has theirs, and I typically get like the regular fiberfill polyfill one, you know, the big box that we all know. But the last 2 times I bought them, it like sheds all over. I mean, you typically got like some that, you know, fall all over you, but the last 2 times I bought, and I buy the big 10-pound boxes, it just creates such a mess. So Kim mentioned that Walmart has theirs, and I love it because it doesn't shed all over you, but it is so dense. It doesn't have the fluffiness of the regular polyfill. It's dense, and it makes it very difficult to put your needle through it when you're like if you're hiding the yarn. You have to use a pointy needle versus the blunt tip one. And there was another YouTuber who mentioned that too when she was making stuffing. I don't know if it was, I think she was talking about the Hobby Lobby one, but the Walmart one, it's very dense. It's not squishy and fluffy like the regular polyfill. If you like your toys to be really sturdy, then I would recommend the Walmart one. It's just when you go to sew things and you're trying to get the needle through it, you need a pointy tip needle rather than the blunt one. All this to say, same turtle, I overstuffed this one, so it's very rounded. And then I didn't in that one, not so much. Or I stretched it out and moved it to the side more. And then I just added petals to her. That's not part of the, this is the pattern without the petals, and I just decided to add petals. And these are the only 2 colors I have in the chenille home. Otherwise I would have done something different, but I think it's still cute. And the head, the curved head or the tilted head gives it character. I still need to add a mouth because I like adding a mouth to them, but I just did opposite. Gray body, and then the plum, and then the plum with the, or plum shell with the gray body, and then the gray shell with the plum body and petals. I like this. It's very tactile. So anyway, all that to say, I had no turtles. I sold my last one, and these are to replace it. The night before the fair, I didn't have any oxalatas because I had run out. I had sold out, so I made 2 and one of them sold. So I'm hoping to make 1 more. And I sold 1 pumpkin. There was no pattern to the pumpkin. I just made it, and I added, hopefully I'll put a picture of what it looks like if I have it still. And then I crocheted the stem right onto that one. And then the 2 frogs that I made, they're almost, no, not, I shouldn't say almost no sew. The belly patch and the eyes. You make the eyes first, and then, no, you make the body, then you make the belly patch, you sew it on, and then you have to sew on the eyes. But they were cute little ones, and it was a recommended video that I saw, and I made 2 of them, and those 2 sold. And one of the Sammy the Spores, that sold, and 1 chicken sold. So, definitely didn't sell as many toys as I did last time, but 5 shawls and the 2 button cows, like, no complaints. So, that's great. I think I'm going to, if I edit this, if I have time to edit this before Friday, I will post this with the 2 wrap-ups. If not, I will wait to record after Saturdays. When I first looked at the weather, Saturday was supposed to be 40% chance of rain. When I looked at it yesterday, it's going to be partly sunny. So I'm really hoping, because it got really cold. It got really cold. So I'm hoping Saturday is not cold and it doesn't rain and the weather report holds. I think it'll be the perfect temperature for that type of fair. So last year it drizzled a bit and people still came out, so I'm hoping we don't have rain, because that's my last outdoor fair. I'm looking forward to being inside, actually, even though my space will be a little more limited, but I'm looking forward to it. And after this Saturday, I have one already set for towards the end of November, and I just got asked about doing another one after Thanksgiving. I'm still waiting back to hear from them. And then I have one at the beginning of December, and I'm waiting for one more in December to see if they're still holding it. I haven't heard back from them, but so if all works out, I will have 1, 2, 3, 4 more after Saturday, and if it doesn't work out, I will have 2. So 2 or 4. Anyway, all that to say, thank you for watching. Stay tuned to see if I post or if you have to wait till the next fair. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye. Hey guys, this is Laurel with the Dabbling Hook. How are you doing? Today is Monday the 2nd of October. October already, wow. It's post craft fair update. This is update number 3, or craft fair number 3 update. And I think my last clip I said that I had headache. Well, right now I have a backache. I have what I am calling getting old-itis, and I'm not doing it gracefully because everything aches, and somehow I pulled a muscle in my back. I'm supposed to be in the office this week. Didn't go today because it wasn't happening, and I'm planning on going tomorrow, but I don't know if I'm going to last the day. So, but my whole lower back, upper rump, lower back side is just, it's like a constant like thrumming of ache. It's not a sharp pain anymore, which I had. It started Wednesday. I felt it coming Wednesday. Sidebar. I felt it coming Wednesday. I ignored it because I usually, when I get a back twinge, it's usually on the opposite side. And then Thursday, I'm like, oh, okay, this is going to go away because this never happens on this side. Come Friday, yeah, I checked email and attended like 2 meetings, and then I was in bed. And I had Tylenol, I had a lidocaine patch because the next day was the craft fair. And I'm like, it was raining. It was pouring on Friday, and I'm like, oh, maybe it'll get canceled. The chances of rain were iffy, but it was raining so bad I figured, you know, there's no way it wasn't going to rain the next day, and I figured, you know, I'll get out of the craft fair either way. Nope. So I ended up going. You know, I was medicated. The pain was there, but it wasn't sharp. It got sharp later. Father Minion came, helped me a little more than he normally does setting up, and I figured, you know, once everything's there, I just have to ease myself out of the chair, up and down. I set everything so I don't have to bend a whole lot. It did not rain. It was quite chilly in the morning. I don't like putting up my tent sides, and I ended up having to do that. Only a few craft fairs over the years I've had to do that. And I had 3 sides up. I wanted to take them down. It never rained, but it was always like iffy looking, so I didn't take it down till really late. But either way, the craft fair went well, better than I expected given the weather and everything. But by the time I get home, oh my god, I was dragging let me tell you. And I was barely able to unpack, and by the time I got in the house, it was just, Father Minion made banana bread. I had a slice, and I always bring a thermos with tea, and I never finish it at the craft fair because you're so busy and you don't, you know, I don't get as hungry as much. So I finished my tea with a slice of his banana bread. I made it upstairs, barely got my shower in and went to lie down. And I'm like, I'll just, you know, read a couple of chapters to fall asleep. I was out, and I think I slept for like 10 hours. Yeah, it was bad. So I'm still feeling the effects really bad. All this to say, 4 minutes in. Yeah, I have this constant, just like pulsing kind of thrumming pain that's just there. So like I said, we'll see how tomorrow goes in the office. But you didn't come here for all that, even though I gave you all that. What sold? It was a toy heavy sale, but like I said, the weather was very iffy given the day before that it poured. I think it kept a lot of people away, but people did show up. They just weren't as spendy as they were last year. Last year was awesome. This year I made my threshold, which was awesome, but I was kind of looking forward to a repeat of last year. That didn't happen, but I'm still happy with how things went. This fair I didn't sell any shawls at all. Quite disappointing because I was on a roll. But no shawls, and I sold one 2-button cowl, and it was a young girl. She must have been in like her mid to late teens, not late teens, mid teens. She bought it. She tried on 3 of them, and then she bought one, and then I put it in a bag, but then like maybe 10 minutes later I looked across and she was sitting across with it on. So just, it was awesome. So what else sold? Gummy bears. I sold 3 of them, and I had made little ones that I made keychains out of, and I sold one keychain and 3 gummy bears. The gummy bears I sell for $5 because it's like it's very popular. People are like so surprised to see it. And this time I had more touchers than buyers, but I still sold 3 plus the keychain. Octos, I sold 3, 6, 7 octos of different sizes, and then 2 octo keychains. Leggy froggies, I sold 3 keychains, and I used worsted weight yarn to make small ones to do the keychains, and 2 regular ones. The lazy bullfrogs, I sold. Remember, I had made those for the spring. I made a bunch for the spring fair, and those didn't sell. But I think I have maybe 3 from my original set left, and I'd made a couple for this past weekend's fair, and they both sold. But for the bullfrog, I made a little, I don't know if I showed it in the last clip, but I made a little a mini one that I put on a keychain. That sold, plus 2 others. Pumpkins, I made, and if I remember, I will put up the picture I post right before the craft fair where I made pumpkins, lazy bullfrogs, and, is that what it is? Pumpkins and lazy bullfrogs, I think. And I sold all those in that picture sold. But I sold 2 mini pumpkins I made right before the craft fair. The bauble pumpkin, which I saw Pam, hey Pam, Pam's Crochet and Knit Corner, she showed it for her Yarny Hop, Fall Hop, and I went and made them. I will say I'm not a huge fan of them, but somebody loved it, the one I made, and that sold. And then a regular one where you just do in the back loop only. I had a gray one like that they sold. And all of those, I think I had the cinnamon sticks in them. Chickens. I sold 3 chickens. The Mabel Chicken. That's everywhere. Mushroom. I sold my last 2 mushrooms that I had. And we sold, yeah, I made one the night before with, I think it was this yarn for the body. It's this Bernat blanket, the newer one because it's really soft, and the red top, and some guy bought it. And I had an octo mushroom that I made from, it was either late last year or for the spring, and lighting is going to be really off because it's the end of the day and I'm not turning on the light, so hopefully it's not, I'm not disappearing. Ow. So yeah, 2 octos, 2 mushrooms, the Sammy Spore ones, but I make them bigger, what I call regular size, rather than the minis that the pattern calls for. yeah, so 2 of those and the 1 octo mushroom. I sold the big pink elephant, and that was again my make 9 that I'm doing with Kim. Hey Kim of the Crafty Nomad. So I think all but Sammy the seal, big Sammy, all my make 9 things I think have sold, if I remember correctly. Yeah. What else? What else? The pouches that I made, the little that opened up, it's on a string. If I find a picture, I will post it. But I sold 2 of those. One was a sunflower one, and one was a kitty face. But they're about, like, you know, palm size big with on a string. Let's see. Turtles. I sold the 2 turtles that I had made, I think, for this fair, because I had run out of turtles, and I just did this one last night. So this is the Friendly Red Fox, her turtle. I just added embellishment to it. Hers is a 1-hour no-sew pattern. Like I said, most of the patterns out there are very similar. Hers, I like the way she attaches her head, and I'm getting better at getting the head to look straight. Whenever I've done the last 2, they've kind of like off to the side, which gives them character. But I just did this one last night. I actually went to Joann's and she bought yarn. I've been on a bit of a buying binge, which I need to stop, because I need to use a whole lot here. But I bought some blanket yarn, but I bought the big twist version, which is varying almost on a size 7 rather than a 6. It's really, it's chunkier than the Bernat blanket. But all this to say, I love the idea of, I know it's from like the sunflower one and then you can do whatever, but I love the idea of this. So this is, oh, it's way over there. The big twist blanket version in this is a grayish color, and then this, which looks brown, they didn't have brown, so I got it's a plummy purpley color instead. And then I was gonna do gold. I got a gold from the Bernat blanket one because that was on sale, but instead I used the Dollar Tree chenille that I doubled up and did that instead. So this may look brown, but it's purple in the bad lighting. But yeah, hang on. Okay, not sure if the light's gonna help any, but so there's that. So it's much bigger. It's bigger than, a little bigger than the ones that I make out of the Bernat blanket yarn. But yeah, I like this idea here of doing different flower colors. So I may do that. Anyone else notice that the Just Chenille at the Dollar Tree is not available as it used to be? It almost feels like they're slowly winding down on the yarn, because I've gone to a couple of the dollar stores and they don't have as much yarn as they used to. I now have to go to like 3 different ones to even get what I'm looking for. So yeah, not as available. But I did order from Hirschner's. They had 99-cent shipping, and I wanted to try their, oh, that's gonna hurt tomorrow. I wanted to try their Parfait Chunky. I've had their Parfait before, but like the regular Parfait that I doubled up to make bees and stuff last year. But I bought some of these. 3 of them came and the rest are on back order. So I'm gonna try making them out of that. But I have a lot of this left. So I think it's so cute. Anyway, all that's the turtle. Another one of my crochet baskets sold. I have some scrap yarn that I need to try using up to make it, but my scrap yarns are more the number 4, and they're all different types. There's the Hometown and the Thick and Quick type, and I don't know if I want to use that, but I do have a lot of other yarns that I can use up and put together to make the baskets. But yeah, that sold. So I have, out of the nested ones, that there were 3 of them. I have 1 left, and then I have a couple others. People looked at them, but not many people buy them. I sold 1 fringe triangle cowl. That I sold quite a few of last fair, not so much this time. What else? I had this hat I made with 2 strands of worsted and 1 of latte, and it was the rectangle that you make and then you cinch it to make the hat, and it had a pom-pom. And actually my mother-in-law bought that. It's become tradition at that fair that she comes by, and she's usually my first sale of the day, even though I tell her she doesn't have to. So she bought that. What else? Ruffle hat, the divine ruffle. I think that's gonna be, when I make the ruffle hat, I'm just gonna do the divine hat. I'm actually making another one right now. Again, yarn that I have that needs to be used up. This is Big Twist in this gorgeous turquoise color, teal color, that's what it's called. Sapphire. So I'm making another one because I made 3 at my, I had 3 at my first craft fair. I don't think any sold. Was it there? I think 1 sold. The second craft fair, another 1 sold. No. At my first craft fair, 2 of them sold. Anyway, I sold 2 of them before, and then I have a smaller one that's like more a toddler size. So I didn't bring that with me because it's so small. I was just playing around with some leftover yarns. But I made another one, which I didn't even get a chance to take a picture of. And this woman came by, she saw it, and her eyes just lit up. And she's like, what is that? And she like barely tried it on, and she put that in front of me, and she's like, I'll be taking that. And it's funny, I'm using up some of the tweed, the value tweed from Michael's, and I ran out of that color, but I finished it, the ruffles, in a lighter color, so it looks like you can, you know, switch it around and have the lighter on one side. And anyway, she loved it and she bought it, and I don't have a picture of it because I made it like the day or 2 before the fair, and I didn't have a chance to take a picture of it. But yeah, so I'm making another ruffle. I'm gonna try to have at least 2 at each fair to see. Oh, lighting is getting really bad. Let me hurry up. I sold 1 T-Rex, and what is that? I can't even read my handwriting. Oh my goodness. I don't even know what that is. Wow. It's the first time I've never been able to read my handwriting. I have no idea what that says. But I sold 1 of it, whatever it is. Wow. If I remember when I'm editing, I will, if I can figure it out, I'll write it, but I have no idea what that says. Wow. I sold a scrappy whale, and that's all my whales. My last axolotl, I had made 2, was it before this fair? And, was it those 2? Yeah, I didn't take a picture to post, but I took a picture at the fair. I haven't done anything with it, so I will have to post that, show that to you guys. So I have no more axolotls, and I think that was it. I really wish I knew what that said. I can't read my own writing. Wow. I have no idea, but hopefully I'll figure it out. But yeah, that's it. Not bad. Ooh. A fly just totally buzzed by. Anybody else have a influx of what do they call them? Fruit flies? Everywhere. Normally they'll be in the kitchen, you know, because the banana's hanging up and all that, and we went apple picking and we have the apples there for a while. But yeah, they're everywhere now. I don't understand. One year it was those fat, lazy, those huge fat lazy flies everywhere, and now that I got the electronic zapper, anybody else have those? It's like, it's so satisfying when you zap one. Anyway, yeah, but a fly just went by. Anyway, ow, that hurts. Okay, I'm gonna go. hopefully I would have I would have pieced everything together. And to give you a roundup, I have the month of October off, no craft fairs. Yeah, I didn't sign up for any, and the one I did this past weekend was usually happened the first weekend in October, but they moved it up. So I have nothing, so I have time to catch up on, I have to make some fringe triangle cowls. I have a few skeins of yarn for my 2-button cowls. I just need to make those to use up the yarn. And other than that, I just need to restock up on some, couple more turtles, some chickens. I think I have 3 left in stock. Gummy bears, and I think that's it. Oh, an axolotl. I need to make one of those, or a couple of those. But yeah, I think I'm in on mushrooms. So mushrooms, lazy bullfrogs, chickens, and I don't know. I think the pumpkins with the cinnamon stick drew more attention than I have some without cinnamon sticks, and they've been there through all the fairs, so I think I'm gonna hot glue some cinnamon sticks in those. But other than that, oh, and the divine ruffle, I need to make that. And potentially a couple of, oh, I didn't sell any hats either of my either my Victrina beanie or my Bricks and Hearts, none of those, even though people did try those on. But I'm rambling, I'm prattling, I'm going on, and I need to go stretch my back. All right, I will talk to you guys sometime.